Hello, we're here in Newport, Rhode Island for the Digital CMO Summit. Here at the Hotel Viking are some of the world's leading marketers giving presentations on their challenges and opportunities moving forward. Over the next 2 days, we're going to interview some of those marketers for Digital 180. Enjoy. Hello, we're here with Matt Cutler, who is Vice President of Marketing and Analytics for Visible Measures. We're going to ask Matt a few questions today. He just got finished speaking. And let's start off, Matt, with what's the difference between online video and broadcast?
Well, the difference between online video and broadcast is that it's an entirely different experience. Broadcast is the viewing is the end, right? You watch and that's sort of it. Where online, the viewing experience is the beginning. Then you comment, then you rate, then you pass the link around via email or IM. Then you put it in your social network profile, and if you're really into what you see, maybe you download the stream, remix it, mash it up, respond, re-upload it in a new place. So it's very much a lean-forward experience, and online video is participatory. That basically the expectation is not passive, but the expectation is people expending social currency around video.
So this is what you mean by, you've talked about social video.
So often the term viral video has negative connotations associated with it. It's dogs on skateboards and stuff like that. But fundamentally, online video today is a catalyst for social interaction, and that it's the unifying point where people will engage in social dialogue, expend social currency. So I think viewing this sharing, passing around interaction of video through the lens of social interaction as opposed to pure viral is actually really helpful, particularly for brand advertisers who are looking to get their message out online.
So what do you see now that everybody understands video, everybody knows YouTube, everybody sort of is out there seeing it and consuming it? What are the trends that we should be looking for, let's say, in the next year or two?
Well, I would say people, particularly on the brand side, are just beginning to really understand this notion of social video. And a year ago, it was a lot of either-or conversation. Is it broadcast or online? Is it paid or is it social or viral? Is it pre-roll or post-roll or mid-roll or overlay? A lot of these sorts of conversations. Today, what we're hearing, particularly from forward-thinking brands and agencies, is integrated approaches. It's both online and offline. It's both paid and social. And so what we're seeing is much more sophisticated campaign design, much more sophisticated campaign planning, and particularly more appropriate content and narrative that works in this format, because the user experience is so different. Taking a 30-second TV spot and putting it online and hoping that people are going to talk about it, it doesn't have a really great track record for success.
So one last question around that idea of integrating the online and offline, or the online experience with, let's say, the broadcast experience. Can you give us an example that kind of helps make that point where somebody might, a brand may be doing that right now?
Good question. I think we just presented results from Super Bowl. We did a joint research project with YouTube to measure the entire flight of the Super Bowl ads. And one campaign that stuck out, and you can find out more about online, is E-Trade. And E-Trade obviously had a very positively received creative with their baby and the trading and things like that. But what they did was they did pre-event promotion online where they had special videos that went up before the Super Bowl actually happened. They had one Super Bowl spot and then they followed it up with related creative. And so they built a whole story arc that existed and sort of transcended online and offline. And the results were pretty dramatic, where they got huge online reach and they only had to buy a single Super Bowl spot to do it. So we really view that sort of forward thinking from a brand like E-Trade to be the direction that this medium's going in.
And I will ask one last question, just because it seems like an advantage that you may have right now, particularly you guys, is the notion of being able to measure the effectiveness. Can you just give us, the soundbite on the effective measurement as it relates to your business?
Well, I think the approach that we take at Visible Measures is a big data approach. And so the medium's so new, the experience is so new, that the metrics in isolation are very hard for brands to interpret. So I say, you got an 85, and they say, is that good or bad? And we're fortunate that we have what we believe is the largest data set of online video performance. It goes back 2 years. It spans all these sites, so that we can present results in context. And so with that said, clearly reach is a big component, and we call it true reach, so not just what the brand is doing, but what the community does in response in video. And then audience engagement, sort of not just the fact that it was viewed, but how it was viewed. Was there interaction associated with it? And then commenting and other activity around that as well. So there's multifaceted measurement that's going on here to really get inside this notion of campaign effectiveness.
Great. Well, thanks, Matt Cutler. That was fantastic, and enjoy the rest of the event.